Are there any trends that you think are that these sort of data center? What are the big trends that new trends that they're going to face in the next?
The shift to the edge is definitely a big one.
Yeah.
The problem with data center operations guys is they're totally focused on how to make that data center more efficient. So they're talking about liquid cooling and renewable energy and buying from renewable energy sources, and therefore my data center is green, and I've got all these fancy cooling technologies to try and get all this heat out.
Yeah, but that is a classic sort of system problem that you see in so many different industries. So
that's what they're measured on.
If you're building a commercial building these days, who invests in it? You might be building it, but are you actually investing in it, or is it somebody else? And who's going to actually live in it? Will they buy it from you? Will they rent it? Who will own it?
Yeah.
And you get different parties that have interests in different parts of the system, and nobody manages the system as a whole.
Well, we talked a bit about edge computing and this shift of infrastructure out into places where data centers didn't used to be. That's definitely a big one. I think the rise in energy costs, I think we're seeing more and more concern about that, and delivering a level of performance and service within the bounds of the infrastructure they already have. So rather than just continuing to throw more processing power at it, how can I create a more efficient infrastructure? So we're definitely seeing that as well. I think we're also seeing customers thinking more broadly, and it's related actually to the idea of edge computing, where I have many disparate smaller locations, and that's the IT skills crisis that we talked about. Is how do I, if I'm getting to a situation where instead of one large data center, and I have 10 small ones, but I've still got the same number of engineers, how do I deploy them the best way possible? How do I utilize the most skilled people in the most effective way? And equally, how do I support those small locations in a way which is manageable? And so we're thinking a lot about that. And in fact, because we own the entirety of our product design all the way through the hardware and all the way up through the stack, we can actually think about those kinds of challenges as practical challenges as well. And without going into detail here, there's things we've integrated into the hardware which actually mean the level of skill required to support it in the field can be reduced quite dramatically, and we think that's going to become increasingly important as we think about that.